They tried humiliating you and it backfired. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. They tried humiliating you and it backfired. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, I've mastered myself. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I've mastered myself, which many people have yet to do as grown men and women, guaranteed. Now, y'all remember when you were in elementary, middle school, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm from Douglas, Georgia, y'all. So down that way, they had the ninth grade by itself, right? Just because of behavior issues and just keeping everything in a disciplined manner, right? So that was like an academy. Middle school, elementary, and even for some of y'all who went to the ninth grade by itself, like me, or an academy like me, that whole era, right? That was when you was trying to figure yourself out, okay? That was when you was trying to figure out how to match the shoes with the shirt with the pants. This is when you were developing your style as a young man or a young woman, correct? When you get to 10th through 12th grade, that's really when you start hitting your full stride. You follow what I'm saying? Like, you still got your favorite celebrity, maybe, but you're not trying to be them 100%. Maybe, see, you're at the level of influence at that point. You're not mimicking, imitating, or trying to just blatant copy, okay? When you get to that 10th through 11th grade to 12th grade stage, you are developing your own style, okay? Somebody drop in the comments and say, I've developed me. You are developing your own style. Reno, why is that important? This is an example of self-mastery, all right? You've developed your own style. You're comfortable and content with your own skin. You are confident, of course, and you understand who you are and where you're going. So when people try to humiliate you, it's almost like it backfired because they're trying to tell you about you. You already know what you are lacking. You already know what your vulnerabilities and weaknesses are. You already know what you're not competent in. So when they're trying to bring it to your attention, it backfires because it don't have that same hit. It don't have that same punishment. All right? The punishment that they intended for you. Does this make sense? Somebody drop that down below in the comments if y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. But when they try to humiliate you, this may be public jokery. You know, people trying to Jones on you, crack jokes. You follow what I'm saying? But it backfire because you get to laughing right along, okay? Because you're not laughing with them, you're laughing at them. You get what I'm saying? When people try to humiliate you, you know, they may try to spread bad news, bad rumors about you, but it actually backfires because it makes them look like the evil, wicked, and bad person, right? They end up sitting in a seat they created for you. You get what I'm saying? Again, y'all, they tried humiliating you, and it backfired. You are comfortable, confident, and content with who you are, what you've accomplished, all right? What you haven't accomplished, the way you walk, the way you talk, what you have, what you've built, all right? What you look like, what you smell like, your sexuality. And when I say sexuality, I am not speaking for or against that community or the community, if you will. But what I'm saying is you are confident and comfortable with you. With you. And so with that being said, y'all, yes, they tried humiliating you and it backfired. So family, we're going to go ahead and talk about it and speak on it within this matter. First thing is first, y'all, leave a thumbs up on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Y'all make sure y'all ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. How y'all doing, fam? What you got going on? What you ate today? I'm in your business. Yeah, y'all, today is a good day. I was supposed to hit the gym today, do some Muay Thai, but got caught up, okay? Long night last night. Don't want to talk about it. But yeah, long night last night, y'all, and I ended up waking up later. And so here we are. I'm going to miss my gym day today, but I'll be going to the gym tomorrow. Really haven't had too much to eat today. I had a chicken sandwich. That's really it. You follow what I'm saying? And so y'all can drop in the comments. Let me know how y'all living, how y'all doing, what you ate today. But that's what it's looking like on these negative woods. But anyway, y'all, let's get right into it, man. Number one, you exposed yourself, okay? You exposed yourself. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I don't need you to expose me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I don't need you to expose me. Family, this works with anything, all right? To any dynamic from any degree. It works with anything, okay? When you expose yourself, whenever a person tries to do it for you and you've already done it, it don't have that same effect. It just don't, all right? It makes you look like the hero in your own movie, all right? In your own slaughter. Let's take that back. It makes you look like the hero in your own slaughter. So what I mean by that is, if you think about the movie 8 Mile, right, with Eminem, you know, it was basically a biopic of his movie. I mean, of his life. I don't know how much of that was true, but great movie. I love it. But with 8 Mile, you know, it showed that when they tried to slaughter him with words, slander him, or even use his story against him, when he exposed it first, Papa Duck ain't have nothing to say. I'm white trailer trash. Okay, he did sleep with my girl. I did get beat up by all 6 of you chumps. All right. Cheddar Bob shot himself. You know, I'm still yelling out F the free world. In other words, you can't expose me when I've already exposed myself. All right. I'm comfortable and confident in what I have and what I don't have. Yeah, y'all did it to me, but y'all won't defeat me. Y'all won't stop me from getting on this mic, all right, and spitting hot fire. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that's what trying to humiliate somebody but backfiring looks like, okay? Now, maybe it didn't happen for you or to you to that dynamic or extent, but it went somewhat similar. When you put yourself out there, and you already exposed what it is that they're trying to make it seem like you're hiding, all right? It makes them look like, hey, you need to come with some more tea. You need to come with some more fire, because he already done put it out here, and by him speaking on this, it don't really got that same heat. That's why I'm going to go back, y'all, to I think this happened, 2017, 2018, when Pusha T was trying to take Drake down, right? Pusha T was speaking about his son, Adonis. The reason why it had a shock factor to it, the only reason he wasn't able to single-handedly take Drake down was because Pusha T a legend in his own right, don't get me wrong. But he didn't have enough star power, right? Not the same star power that K-Dot got. However, it was still a shock factor to a lot of people when he was mentioning Adonis, because Drake never put his son out there. Now, I'm not saying that he's wrong for not placing his son out there for the internet. I won't do it. There's many celebrities who's not showing their kids, okay, just to protect them and for their own confidentiality. But what I'm saying is you see it on the opposite end. The fact that you don't put your son out there, it makes it seem like you're hiding something. Once again, I'm not saying that he's wrong for not putting his son out there, but the reason why Pusha T ran to use that as a pun for the beef was because he knew that the world would look at it in a disdain way, all right? Like, why are you trying to hide your son? He just understood that part of human psychology. But let's just say Drake already put his son out there. He exposed himself. You got to move on to the next bit, Pusha T. You get what I'm saying? So that whole thing operates that way. When people try to humiliate you and you expose yourself, it always backfires. Number 2, you have a sense of humor, okay? You have a sense of humor. You know, family, when you have a sense of humor, you're able to look at the situation for what it is and laugh at it, all right? You're able to laugh at it. So many lives would have been saved if they would have utilized their sense of humor, or if they just would have had a sense of humor. All right. So many fights would have just stayed at a fight if they were able to look at the situation. Hey, I got beat up. You got me, dog. And then just laughed about it and moved on. But no, some people don't got the sense of humor. All right. So what they do is take that humiliation. But The problem is when they take that humiliation, they receive it as an annihilation. Like I was defeated, I was destroyed. So now we're about to have some type of not only another fight, but we finna have somebody to get hit. And I ain't talking about with no fists. I'm talking about with them bullets. You get what I'm saying? So the point is, y'all, is that when you have a sense of humor, it lightens the load, okay? It keeps people from getting hurt. It keeps yourself from being hurt or getting hurt. And it just keeps everything in the clear, all right? But here's the funny thing. When you have a sense of humor and those jokes, that humiliation and things like that don't land how it's supposed to land, it makes them feel like the jackass. Okay, somebody drop in the comments and say, you're the jackass. You know, no different from a class clown, all right? When the class clown jokes have went wrong, now he's looking like the clown. My goal was to make everybody laugh. My goal was to make you the mockery. My goal was to make you the fool, okay? When you have a sense of humor and you're laughing at him, right, not with him, when you're laughing along, when you are just laughing at the situation, he got to change the path, all right? We seen this on the Nutty Professor when Eddie Murphy was laughing along with Reggie. You know, Reggie kept on saying them jokes, and Eddie Murphy started heckling him, all right? Heckling him. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, heckling him. And so when he started doing that, he was like, all right, man, it ain't that funny. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't funny no more because he's laughing along with him. But more so, not even really laughing along, he's laughing at him, all right? And so, family, that's the same effect, okay? When you have a sense of humor, when they try to humiliate you, it backfires, y'all. It backfires. Number 3, people actually sided with you, all right? People actually sided with you. We're watching this in broad day with 50 Cent and T.I. So we all know that this is not a secret, right? But we all know that 50 Cent is pretty much a bully, okay? And if people don't look at him as a bully, he's most definitely a troll, the biggest troll of our era. I'm just gonna be honest. He's the biggest troll of our era. We done seen him beefing with his actors who act on his shows. We done seen him split with friends. He had it with Lloyd Banks. Well, I don't think he trolled Lloyd Banks, but what I'm saying is all his friends, they've broken up. The only friend he got left is Tony Ayo. All right, and I don't even want to speak on that because I don't know their relationship, but I will say that's the only friend he seemed to have. Everybody around him, Floyd Mayweather, everybody, they're not cool no more. They're not friends no more. So we know he's like the biggest troll of our era, right? We know what this have to do with anything. When you become a troll or a bully, a lot of times, people root for the troll or the bully. Why? Because they're the bad guy. People root for the bad guy, okay? People root for the bad guy in movies. People love to see the villain win. He has painted himself as a villain, and people want to see him win, unfortunately, all right? However, this is just my opinion, but in this scenario with him and T.I., I really think this was the first time where people was like, you know what? We gonna side with family. I think that's the only reason, because T.I. family was involved. I think that's the only reason. However, that was his, best move on the chessboard, right? For all his family to get involved in the beef or in the situation, right? Now, here's the thing, y'all. People was really going for 50 Cent, but now people are siding with T.I. because of family, because of unity, because his sons came back, with diss tracks and just was standing up for their mother and things of that nature. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand is that when people side with you, it's because when they are trying to humiliate you and it's backfiring, people are realizing that, you know what? This person actually is a good person. This person actually does have something of value. This person actually, is that dude or that girl. You follow what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel the world and the public is viewing the 50 Cent and T.I. situation. All right? They're not rocking with T.I. because of his star power. I think it's more so because his family came together and it just looked like black unity. I'm going to just be honest. You get what I'm saying? But I think that if it was just T.I. by himself, which he's a warrior, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he win that battle. Not because of he's not musically inclined enough, but because 50 Cent is just a troll. He gonna meme you to death. He gonna turn the internet against you. That's a whole system within itself. The internet, it's a whole nother world. But the point is, y'all, is that people have actually sided with you. You get what I'm saying? Because they seen that they were a troll. They seen that they were a bully. They seen that they were trying to humiliate you. So people say, you know what, man? We're going to side with you. You're actually valuable. You're actually a good person. You actually got a good heart. You actually stand on business. You're actually intelligent. Like, you're nothing like what this person is trying to paint you as. That's why, okay? That's why. Number 4, y'all, you never took it personal, okay? You never took it personal. Like, family, when you take things personal, it just shows that you're getting beat up. You get what I'm saying? Whether that's verbally, emotionally, mentally, it just shows that you're getting beat up. Like, you know, a person who responded to jokes with jokes versus the person who gets personal, it's a big difference, right? Like, have you ever seen somebody cracking on somebody and they just getting so mad, like they start taking it to the streets like, bro, I bet you won't say it again. I'll knock you out. I'll go kill you. I'll go get my gun out my car right now. And you like, chill, bro, it's just jokes, right? Versus the person who crack back and they may be a little bit more funnier. You know, it keeps everything level. But the person who get personal and want to cause bodily harm or injury to someone, it shows that I'm getting the best of you. Yeah, I'm getting the best of you. And that brings a bigger humiliation than anything else. But when a person is getting back right with you with jokes, oh, but you ugly. Hey, you got the big head. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just start going back at it with them with jokes. That humiliation backfires, right? I ain't take it personal. And that's why I don't take a lot of things personal, especially when it comes to the comments and people saying things. Like, I see a lot of mean things. I see a lot of mean things, y'all, about me. However, I don't take it personal because I realize that the internet is not a real place. My biggest goal is to make sure that my message is reaching the people who God want me to reach. That's my only thing, right? Number 5, y'all, the last thing is going to be this right here. You've mastered their game, okay? You've mastered their game. If you take a person who knows Taekwondo versus the MMA fighter who's mastered Taekwondo as well, who do you think is going to win? Okay, I'm going to take my chance with the MMA fighter who knows and mastered Taekwondo as well, because they have multiple fighting styles and they've also mastered the style that someone else is fighting. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be a good match, but what I will say is I'll put my money on a person who knows different systems, dynamics, fighting structures, different things versus the person who's only combined or who's only confined to one fighting style, right? If I've mastered your style and I've already mastered the styles that I know as well, I'm going to place myself in a superior position, point blank period, okay? And that's the same thing with yourself. Like, you've already mastered your game and your style, but you've also mastered theirs. And that's why the public humiliation, that's why them trying to make you look like the bad person, make you look like a fool, make you a mockery, that's why it all backfire you, because you've already mastered their game. That makes sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. But with that being said, fam, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We'll do a recap, all right? Number 1, you expose yourself. Number 2, you have a sense of humor. Number 3, people actually sided with you. Number 4, you never took it personal. And number 5, y'all, you've mastered their game, okay? With that being said, family, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie. Book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. Once again, family, see y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.